I want to get to Demetrious Johnson first, and I know the UFC didn't put him first, but I think we definitely should put him first this week. He's just phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about him. Like Demetrious Johnson is the best MMA fighter to ever live by a country mile. He's better than John Jones. He's better than Jose Aldo. He's better than GSP. He's better than Anderson Silva. He's just the best. And when I say he's the best fighter, I mean at fighting. In the world at fighting. The resume, John Jones has a better resume than him, no doubt. He fights at a better weight class against better people, no doubt. But at the intricacies of MMA, at actually doing things inside the octagon, Demetrious Johnson right now, and for the last 4, 5, 6 fights, whatever it is the best MMA fighter of all time. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think he is. I think the clinic he puts on, you see him do this, and you get into the 5th round, and usually with normal fighters, you think, especially at a low weight, 125, you think that this is going to a decision. But with Mighty Mouse, you know that he pulled off a 1 second to go armbar in the past. He's always trying to finish. So it's never over until it's over, and he's just so technical. Like that, the finish was obviously absolutely spectacular, but everything before it was as well. Like even when he got his back taken, he just looked so calm and just shook Borg off, and immediately started working his game again and just dominating. And he just dominates everybody. He's been caught in a couple of, like, I think Tim Elliott had a submission attempt on him, and he stayed calm then before as well, and just worked out of it. He hasn't overcome all that much adversity compared to some guys, but I think because he looks so calm and is so relaxed in there that it kind of looks less dangerous than it is. He just is the best. Like he's absolutely brilliant.
He fights on ice skates. Like he just slides around the ring. I'm not the biggest fan of Bruce Lee or any of that kind of stuff, but he is like water. That we should give that great saying that actor came up with, the Demetrious Johnson, because that's him. He's like that. He just, every place he is in the octagon, he is the best at it. He can just adjust to it. He just moves brilliantly. There was one stage, right, where he was on top of Ray Borg in side control, in half guard, right? And Borg was doing a good job. He was getting his hips out the side, and Johnson saw he was doing that, right, and decided to catch Borg by the hip and pulled him up so he could take his back. Like he pulled Borg where Borg wanted to go, and then went in behind him and took his back. Like at one stage, Borg was coming up, he was coming up behind Borg. He had kind of the suplex position, but they were on the ground, and he pushed Borg down to get him on the ground. And then as he was posting to kind of get up or to move, he posted and punched at the exact same time. You can do things like that. Like watching him and to actually be pointed out things that he actually does are just amazing. We can get to the finish in a minute, but he did things like in the finish, but small intricacies throughout the fight that were just fascinating. Like I've never watched a person and just been in awe of them like Demetrious Johnson. He's just so good. And Ray Borg is not a terrible fighter. Ray Borg, we talked about it last week. I wrote about it. Ray Borg is very, very well rounded. He's good everywhere. He's a good striker. He's good submissions. His transitions are very, very good. They're the best part of his game. And Demetrious Johnson said it afterwards about that he said, Borg was talking about the transitions. He made him look like he was fighting me. He made him look like an amateur. He absolutely destroyed him. And this is a top 4 or 5 fighter in the world. And he just destroyed him. Like the problem as well with Demetrious Johnson and people hating on him, or sometimes people get into their head that this guy is not as good as the other guys because his competition. Look, they find ways to downgrade him. Demetrious Johnson is not fighting bad guys. He's making guys look bad. That's what's happening here. All these guys are not scrubs. These are all good guys, and he's making them look like scrubs. That's how good he is.
Do you think maybe people are because he lost to Dominic Cruz upperweight and had that, like that? I know that was like 5 or 6 years ago now, but do you think people that's kind of coming into it a bit, that people won't? I put him number 1 pound for pound, but a lot of people kind of seem hesitant to do it. I think I think because it's such a low weight, it's really hard to finish people. But Demetrious Johnson gets finishes. Like, okay, he's not knocking guys out left and right, but he's submitting guys. He has 11 submission victories and 5 TKO victories in his career. Like, that's extremely high finish rate for such a small guy and such guys in the small weight class. Like, it is very hard, even at 35 and 45. Like, it's very rare that people are putting people away. Like Cody Garbrandt is and Conor is, but maybe Holloway is now as well. But there isn't that many that are consistently putting people away. And Demetrious Johnson obviously fighting people like Benavidez and Henry Cejudo. Like, look how good Henry Cejudo looks against everybody but Demetrious Johnson, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Demetrious Johnson has more finishes in championship fights than John Jones. Like, think about that. Think about how much of a killer John Jones is, and he's more finishes. Like, it's just unbelievable. Like, I honestly, I can't say enough about Demetrious Johnson, how good he is. Like, the loss to Dominic Cruz, that was a long time ago. That was in a different division. Like, this thing about you need to go up a division to be a great fighter, to be pound for pound. No, you don't. That's why pound for pound was made.